Have you ever felt, well, stuck? Like you're just running the same patterns over and over again, even when you really want something different? Well, the idea we're digging into today is that our entire external life, our choices, our relationships, our success, it's all just a direct reflection of our internal world. It all starts in the mind. So let's dive in and figure out how to check our own systems.
And really, it all starts with this one powerful idea. This ancient proverb is the foundation for everything. It's simple, but it's so profound. Our thoughts don't just happen to us. They are actively shaping who we are and the reality we experience. Basically, what we truly believe on the inside, well, that's eventually going to show up on the outside.
Okay, so that begs a pretty huge question, right? If our thoughts are that powerful, what's actually in the driver's seat? Are we consciously choosing our mindset? Or is there some old, unseen program just running in the background, making all the decisions for us?
To really get this, we're going to use a fantastic analogy from our source. Just think of your mind as a computer's operating system. This OS dictates everything: how you process information, how you react to things, and what your life ultimately produces. This breakdown is so fascinating when you see it laid out like this. The hardware, that's the visible parts of your life, like your choices and relationships, is completely run by the software. And that software? It's your mindset, your thoughts, your emotions. So if that software is buggy or outdated, the hardware is going to malfunction over and over, no matter how much you try to fix the external parts. And that's the real danger of an unexamined mind. When we're not being intentional, we just slip into autopilot. And as the source points out, autopilot isn't designed for growth, it's designed for survival. It just repeats the patterns that got you through the past, which keeps you stuck and stops you from moving toward anything new. So if our internal software might be outdated or, a little buggy, how do we even know? We have to learn how to recognize the glitches, what we could call the spiritual malware, that can corrupt our whole system from the inside out. Think of it like this. Just like your car's dashboard has a check engine light, our inner world has its own warning lights. Those feelings of frustration or anxiety or being so easily triggered, they're not random. They are signals telling you that something under the hood needs your attention. And ignoring them doesn't make the problem go away, it just leads to a bigger breakdown later on. Our source actually identifies 4 specific types of this spiritual malware. You've got hidden thoughts. Those are the ones you don't say out loud, but they completely shape your attitude. Then there are triggers, those moments that activate an old wound and make you react from the past. Strongholds are those repeated thought patterns that have turned into false beliefs. And bitterness? Well, that's just unresolved hurt that poisons how you see everything. And this is exactly why what you see on the outside can be so misleading. You can have all the signs of success, the amazing job, the perfect family, and still be completely malfunctioning on the inside. Public victories just don't automatically heal private wounds. It shows us we have to look deeper. Okay, so we have identified the problem. Now what? What's the solution? We can't just keep treating the symptoms, right? We have to run a full diagnostic test on our internal operating system.
And a system diagnostic isn't about some quick fix. It's about taking a really brutally honest look inside and asking, what is actually running my mind? What patterns keep showing up? The whole goal is to find the root cause, because as our source reminds us, what you don't confront will absolutely control you.
The source draws on the Psalms to give us this clear 3-step process for a checkup. First, you just have to be willing to look. Then, you identify the root of the issue, the why behind your feelings and reactions. And finally, you ask for a system reset, a complete renewal of your mind and heart. All right, so once the diagnostic is complete and you know what needs to be fixed, it's go time. It's time to take action. It's time to uninstall those old programs and finally update your mental software. The source puts it so perfectly with this line. Some of us are out here trying to navigate the opportunities of tomorrow using an old version of ourselves. It's like trying to run the latest app on an ancient computer. It just won't work. New seasons and new challenges demand an updated version of you because you just can't walk into a new future with an old mindset. So here's the practical how-to guide for this. First, you gotta clear the cache. All that temporary junk, the files of past hurts and old cares that are just slowing you down. Second, close those background apps. You know the ones: worry, offense, fear. They're just draining all your mental energy. And finally, you have to install new software by proactively filling your mind with what is positive and purposeful. I absolutely love this analogy. It's not enough to just empty your mind of the negative stuff.
You have to fill it with something else. It's a proactive strategy. If your mind is already full of purpose and gratitude and truth, there's literally no room for destructive thoughts to pull in and take root.
So let's bring this all home. Why does all this internal work matter so much? Because according to the source, your mind is the rudder of your life. And wherever it goes, your future is eventually going to follow. This right here is the ultimate promise. Freedom isn't something that happens to you on the outside first. It all begins with an internal shift. When you break free from those old thought patterns, those limiting beliefs, those unresolved wounds, your life really has no choice but to follow you into that new freedom.
So what this really means is that if you're looking for new opportunities, you first have to prepare a new mindset to even handle them. The thinking that got you here isn't the same thinking that's going to get you there. Your mental upgrade, that's the key that unlocks the next door. And all of that leaves us with one final question for you. After running your own quick mental diagnostic, what's that one outdated program, a fear, a resentment, a limiting belief that's holding your system back? What's the one thing you can choose to uninstall starting today?